Last week on our show, we discussed what is branding. And on today's show, we're going to continue the conversation and talk about the difference between marketing and branding. So let's take 10 and talk about it. Hello YouTube and welcome back to Take 10 at 10. My name is Patrick Zaidel and I'm the intern here at Albanese Branding. Joining me today is Jim Albanese. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Good to be here.
Okay, so in last week's episode, we learned that branding is very important. And a lot of people get confused between marketing and branding, so that's what we're here to discuss today.
Okay.
So let's get started with what the difference is between the two.
Well, branding really is the look and feel of a brand. It's the personality, it's the voice. It's what is the makeup of an entity, product, or service. On the other hand, marketing is taking a product or a service or an organization and getting it to the consumer level, so getting people to buy it. And they work hand in hand, really, because if your brand doesn't have the personality and voice that is welcomed or accepted or loved by the marketplace, chances are your marketing is going to really fall short. It'll cost you a lot more money to get traction and to get the return on investment that you're really looking for. And most people, they base their success of their marketing based on a return on investment. And if you have a weak brand, it just makes that argument that much tougher.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the two are complementary, but you need a strong brand to have effective marketing.
Absolutely. I would suggest that if a brand is got some deficiencies, that I would work on really identifying what those deficiencies are so that you can have a plan to fix them, to repair them, to polish them up, to make them marketplace ready, to make them acceptable by the marketplace, and not just acceptable, to give the marketplace a reason to love them, a reason to give them an opportunity. Because once you start building awareness of a positive thing, you're creating positive talk value. Conversely, if you have a brand that is struggling in certain areas and it's got some really sour points, been in the media lately, bad press, maybe the brand has been allowed to falter in a lot of ways in terms of signage looks ugly, vehicles are dirty, stores are shelves, everything on the shelves is disheveled. You know what? When you start advertising, if your brand isn't healthy, chances are you do as much harm, if not more, harm than good. And that's a real problem that a lot of retailers face and a lot of businesses face because they don't really give that enough thought before they start investing a lot of money. And if you're going to make an investment, you want to make sure that you're going to have the return on investment as opposed to just making a pure spend.
So I think I understand the difference between the two a lot better now.
Okay.
And my next question would be, from a business's perspective, why is it important to know the difference between the two?
Well, like I said, if you have a brand that is really in a bad situation, public perception is negative or non-existent, when you go to ask people to buy your product or service, they don't know what they're buying. And if they believe that they're buying something that is of a negative nature, chances are two things will happen. Either they won't buy it, or they'll want to buy it at a hugely discounted price. Either case is not beneficial to the seller because you're selling at below market levels and you're selling below its potential. And potential is achieved when you have a stronger brand.
All right, Jim. So when someone approaches Albanese Branding and they're looking for marketing, but you notice that their brand is not quite ready for mass exposure, how do you go about handling that and responding to them?
Very carefully. As I like to put it with many of our clients, we will give them an objective view of their brand. We will ask them to bring in all their marketing materials. We will look at their website, and we will do a little bit of research to get our own opinion of what the state of the brand is. And if we feel that there are some deficiencies or some things that the marketplace just doesn't understand about the brand, we'll put that on the table up front so that they can decide with us or on their own whether, at what stage of readiness they're actually at. And oftentimes there's a little bit of tune-up work or refinements that are required before you actually start advertising. You got to get the messaging right, you got to get the look right, and you have to be ready to do business. You have to be ready to do more business. We all talk about getting to the next level. That's a big buzzword out there. It's been there for I don't know how many years. Getting to the next level. Well, getting to the next level is really all about understanding what that next level is and understanding where you are right now and preparing to do the things necessary to improve public perception and improve the opportunities for success so that when you do start mass marketing, whether it's in traditional media or in new media, that you're going to get the return on investment that you fully expect to get.
Right, so defining the brand is really the first step that you take. You need to get a good understanding of it and define it before you move forward with any marketing tactics.
Absolutely. It's like, how could you possibly start advertising or start a full-on marketing campaign without fully understanding what it is that people feel about your brand right now and what it is you need to do to make those feelings and associations as positive as they can be, so that when you say to someone, come and try our product or service, come and open your wallet and spend some money with us, people are going to say, yeah, I don't see why not, or there are no barriers to success that you didn't know about, because if you did, you should prepare them before you start marketing.
So I hear that a lot of people are interested in advertising, but they don't really believe in branding. What would you say to them?
Good luck. No, really, I think that to jump into advertising without giving serious thought to how will our brand perform during the advertising process is a huge mistake. I think it's going blind, and I think I see it every day, and it makes my skin crawl, because I see that people are investing really good money in advertising and marketing, but their brand isn't quite firing on all cylinders. And you know what? Those are the same people that talk about the fact that advertising doesn't work and marketing doesn't work. And I say to them, if you'd have started out paying attention to your brand in the first place, you wouldn't be thinking that right now. You'd be understanding that your advertising is more powerful when it jumps off of a platform of a strong brand.
Right, and that's going back to what we said before, is that the two complement each other, and without one, you can't have the other.
Well, you can have the other, it just won't be very good.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, Jim, for taking the time out of your day to talk about the difference between marketing and branding.
Absolute pleasure, Patrick.
Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly uploads. Thank you for taking 10 at 10. We'll see you next week.
And I was staring at him.
You were? I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
When you say thank you, give me a chance to say
no.
Pleasure to be here.
No.
Yes.
It's enough. That's enough.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.